Hi there and welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy this game. This game was played 6 hours ago and this was played in the hourly Super Blitz arena. I played in Berserk mode as white, and why do I bring this game to you? Because this opening that I'm playing here has a name for it, but I used to play it when I was a junior. So many 100 years ago, and I used to play this opening with just sort of like just going kind of berserk mode in the game of chess as well, as I'm sure you will appreciate. I've been playing berserk mode and my rating has fallen under 2000 and it's at this time it was at 1964, which is a little bit younger than my year, if you get what I mean. So this is the Caro-Kann advanced variation, and this is the bayonet method, or words that affect. So whether that's affect or affect. So you'll see as soon as I start that my time will depreciate somewhat. Okay, so I'm going to bring this game and I might stop for an exercise or something like that, but obviously it's not necessarily the best move that I played. My opponent has the full 3 minutes and I thought this is a bit of a good game to put on here. And I'm looking forward to being able to interview now FIDE Master, who was Candidate Master. I'm going to interview him for this chess channel on Chess and Life, and we might even speak about some chess politics. So I'm going to, from Greece, this opponent that features as my highest rating win ever, probably ever, on leadchess.org. So here goes this game. So I'm white. First mistake that I make, or the first surprise I make, is I play e4. So e4 is already a bit of a dilemma for those that are used to seeing e3 or d3. So here's c6. So I play, unusual for me, usually I like to play d3 here and play a King's Indian setup. I play d4 and I think, oh no, what do I do now? After d5, what am I going to do next? I know what I'll do. I'll just play cannibalistic, sort of cannonball, sort of whatever. I'll play like I used to play, which is e5. And this is particularly an opening that I saw our New Zealand champion, who's been New Zealand champion a number of times, international master from Wellington, Anthony, has been the New Zealand champion so many times I wouldn't even be able to count them on my fingers, I suppose. And I can recall, would analyze this position for black, because he would play the Caro-Kann for black, I believe. And so I can recall a long time ago, not so long ago as when I was playing this, he was analyzing this line for white and black. So bishop f5, and so here comes the move, g4 and bishop g6 and h4. White is in black's face, because white has to be in black's face. Okay, white needs to be in black's face because he's only got 1 minute and 24 seconds left comparative to 2:55. So here's h6, h5, bishop h7. Bishop e4 has been played before, and I just play f3. It's very primitive, isn't it? Bishop d3. Now I'm swapping off this strong white squared bishop of black's, actually. It's not too bad, I think. That's my opinion. And this, because I've swapped off the white squared bishops, there's no white squared bishop on this square here, f5, for black, looking at that square. So it's not as strong as it was before, in other words. f4, so here I am trying to emulate what Aaron Nimzovich would say, attack the base, the pawn base. Here's my base, here's my opponent's base of this wee small pawn chain here. But black still changes the pawn chain soon. I play knight f3, c5, c3, protecting my base, cd4. So now it's in a fixed blocked pawn chain on d4 and e5 for white, and d5 and e6 for black. And so knight e7 is possibly stopping f5, but not really when I'm playing the white pieces. But I'm going to develop a couple of things first. Knight c3, knight c6, bishop e3, developing my bishop, bishop b4, a3, biff the bishop, bishop c3 check, bc3, knight b6. So black's moved the knight in both cases of theirs twice, and I've only moved mine once. I go for broke here with the following move. I hope you came up with this move. I think it's pretty feisty, is f5 and ef5 and gf5 and knight c4. Now, it could be your move now. So what's the sort of move you're going to play now? Do you think you could find my move, even if it's not any good or not? I hope you find it. It is, of course, e6. Just trying to bust open both of our positions now. Now I'm busting open black's position as well as my own position. And there's more fun and games to come because I'm completely on my own here. My opponent might not be, I'm not sure. fe6, fe6. Now I threaten, of course, maybe queen g6 check. Looks quite healthy, but black's got the move, and black plays knight e3. So I could look at queen g6 check here, because it's not check to me. But I think, just think a little bit that black gets away. So if I now play queen g6, black would play king e7, queen f7, king d6, queen f4. I might have a draw, but we've got for black king e6, but that's pretty shady for black, I think. I'm sure that's probably really good for white, but I didn't have enough time. I had 51 seconds, 0.8. So I played queen e3, and I was a wee bit sad actually because I was thinking queen f6. Now, it's your move. What would you play now? And as mentioned prior, I'm not saying that this is the best move on the planet, as I often say here, but it's my move, so it's not bad. It's not bad. Well, it might be bad. It just depends how one wants to look at it. And so, played here, castles. And I didn't castle on the short end, I castled on the long end. And guess what? My opponent thinks, right, two can play at this game, castling long. So now I have a pawn on e6, which is in black's camp, and I have a pawn on h5 in black's camp as well. But what do I do next? What should I do next? I played a kind of a developing move because it's placing the rook on a not even a half open file with rook de1. It protects my queen on e6, it defends the pawn on e6, it overprotects the pawn on e6 with two pieces at the moment. So now comes rook de8. Now it's not overprotected, it's only protected. and attacked. It's status quo. So black's got ideas probably of playing rook e7 and rook e8 and pinging my weak e6 pawn. So what do I do now? What would you do now? And hopefully for me, you find my move, which I thought looked quite characteristic and that sort of thing for this actual position. I played here rook hg1 and rook e7 came about, so I flung my rook into g6, attacking the queen, and the queen is asked the question. She didn't go back to f8, and there's nowhere else to go other than silly moves, so went to where did the queen go now? Went to f5, of course. So now I'm overprotecting the pawn on e6 again 3 times. So I'm overprotecting it, as Nimzowitsch would say, but black isn't far away from getting the status quo back again. Now I played rook eg1. Now I'm attacking the pawn twice on g7, but I can hear you say, well, what about your e6 pawn? And my opponent said the same thing. What about your e6 pawn? Now I want to just say I'm 14.7 seconds left. So I'm starting to get into territory where I'm going to lose more rating points. More rating points. I'm going to lose more rating points if I'm not really very careful. And knowing me, it's not hard to be not very careful. So I played rook g7, and I don't know what I'm going to play next. Rook g7, rook e6, and knight e5. What? Fatsakier? Now, who would think that black would take my piece of bait on the ground here, but also take it incorrectly? Black plays knight e5 and de5, and now plays rook e5, which is final for black. Black wins in all variations, not black loses in all variations, I'm very, very sure. After rook e5, it's a simple checkmate coming here, or checkmate in 3 moves. So I hope you can see it. They're relatively forced moves, or they are all forced moves, but not black's first initial move. After queen c5, black played, sadly, king d8. But here, black could play king b8, and then it's queen c7 check, and sorry, queen b7 checkmate. So my opponent did play king d8, and I played queen c7 checkmate. Hope you enjoyed that game today, and I think that it's quite nice to play. As I've said, one of my principles is play like you're a 10 or a 12-year-old, and this is the sort of play I would play when I was about 10 or 12 years old. I would play this sort of bayonet, advanced Karakan defense. And then there's the King's Indian. So I remember one game I was in the 40-minute tournament in Canterbury when I was an Otago player. I went up to Canterbury and played in the 40-minute tournament, and I beat one of the top players of the country then, when I was only 14. But I think I was 14 or 15. But I had this game where my opponent played d6 and knight f6 and g6. And I thought, this is great. I threw all my pawns in the front, in the center, and I thought, this is great. I'm really winning. And I got nipped after that a little bit. I won't go on about it too much. Okay, bye for now. I really appreciate you watching. All the best with your chess. Bye for now, and I'm looking forward to the interview with the FIDE master who was a candidate master, the one I beat without cheating, 2791 player on who's now 2-8 something and FIDE master. That interview is coming, so I hope you enjoy that interview. I hope you enjoyed this game. Bye.